So I think I figured it out. I really think I figured it out. If you are on the cusp of becoming an entrepreneur or trying to go out and do your own thing and leave your shitty 9 to 5, this is the absolute one thing that you need to know that will make or break you as an entrepreneur. I get asked all the time, as somebody who's made over $1 million because I dropped out of school, like, how was I able to make it as an entrepreneur and be successful and make so much money? And I think I have come up with the number one thing that made or break me. And that is, you have to be willing to walk backwards. And what I mean by walk backwards is that you have to be okay going back to the beginning. When you fail, when you mess up, you have to be okay with starting from ground zero all over again. And that can be really, really hard if you've put in so much effort, so much work, so much time, and it didn't work out, to then go back to the drawing board. And not only is it hard, it's embarrassing. It's so embarrassing to tell your friends and family, look, I'm going to do this, I'm going to succeed at it, I'm going to make it as this, and then you don't. And so that is the make it or break it point for entrepreneurs, is that when they hit that point to where they have to go back to the start, walk backwards, that they don't. That they're embarrassed, they don't want to take the risk of going through all of that all over again, and they stop. And it's not because they failed at it ultimately overall, it's just because they stopped and they quit. And let me tell you something, as an entrepreneur, you will never, ever, 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 ever make it on your first try. And so if you're not willing to constantly humble yourself and constantly take risk and constantly face that embarrassment and constantly waste a bunch of time to go back to the drawing board, you will not make it. I started my media buying venture over 10 years ago, and in between I've had to take shitty jobs. I've had to work constantly on the side. I had to go back to terrible 9 to 5 jobs, all the while people telling me, like, you're not going to make it, you need to go back to school, you need to get your degree because you can't be successful without a college education, and that what you're doing is, you're just a dreamer, you're never going to make it. And then to have that and then fail a bunch of times at a bunch of things and to keep on keeping on is what got me to where I am today. And that's because I was willing to walk backwards. I was willing to look stupid. I was willing to take risks over and over, waste time, waste more money, until I was able to make it. And that's because that's what makes or breaks people. And not a lot of times, it's never easy. It's not ever going to be easy. And it's still not easy for me now. It's just I'm at a lot more of a successful place and people aren't calling me stupid anymore. So if you don't think you're willing to go walk backwards, start all over again, take risks, waste a bunch of time, fail a bunch, because you will never ever make it on your first try anyway, then that's a good indicator that being an entrepreneur is probably not for you. Curious as to what your guys' thoughts are in the comments, so let me know.